weather this time of year. We practice on the field turf for a couple reasons. One was we have had a lot of rain on the grass, and also we're going to play on a synthetic turf field this week, so we thought it'd be a good idea to get on it. Nice and humid out there. It tested our guys. They had to battle hard to finish, but I think they finished well. There are some spots in between that weren't that pretty, but we'll get that squared away. I'm ready.
Coach, last week you used 19 true freshmen in the game. Do you anticipate using that many again in this contest coming up?
Well, we want to play as many guys as possible that we feel like are ready to play and deserve to play. And we probably would have played a couple more if we had a little more time. If we'd have finished that game, we had some plans to put a couple other guys in offensively. I think there's a couple of receivers that didn't get in that would have gotten in. So, I mean, the goal is just to play everybody who's ready and who's earned it.
I think he touched on this Saturday, but having some time to adjust to it. That Rashawn Caesar guy got loose for 153 yards and catches. What was occurring there? What have you guys done to kind of shore that up?
Yeah, well, part of it is their scheme. A lot of real short to intermediate routes. Not even a lot of intermediates. Not a lot of intermediate routes really. Mostly little, fake the zone and pop it out to somebody. And he was on the end of that a lot. But he did get downfield a couple times. He caught a couple balls in traffic. He's a very good receiver. I mean, he's caught a bunch of balls in his career, and a lot of times it's just a matter of keeping people in front of you and tackling better, and also when people get in the red area, do a good job of stopping them and keeping them from scoring TDs and forced field goals and all that. There's a lot of zone defenses that are designed to make people throw the ball in front of you, and then you break on the ball and you go make tackles. But when they have the run pass options, it's good stuff. That's why people are doing it all across the country. And a run pass option basically is, you see it a lot. The quarterback will grab the ball and he'll stick the ball in the belly of the back, and he's reading it to the defender. If that linebacker plays the run, then he's going to throw it down the field to a little some type of quick game route, whether it's a little bubble route or a little quick slant or a hitch or whatever it may be. It's hard to defend that, or at least it's hard to keep people from completing them. The key is, again, to tackle them immediately and knock the ball out occasionally.
How did the first game go, Coach? I'm on the sideline kind of directing traffic.
I thought it went well. There was a play actually that happened. I think I mentioned it after the game, but got some good information upstairs about what they thought was coming as far as just a certain blitz, and then Shoddy basically just yelled out to the quarterback to change the play to a certain play, and we gashed him for a touchdown. Just something that wouldn't have happened if he'd been upstairs. Just little things like that, it was good to see. But I thought everything ran pretty smooth. We did have the one penalty on substitution. But other than that, I thought we substituted well. I don't think we ever came close to a delay of game, which is a sign of organization and all. So I think overall it was pretty smooth.
Mark, with Derek Mason doing the defensive coordinator job, what do you remember about being a head coach and play caller here, and how you juggled that?
Yeah, it's a busy life. There's a lot of things that just have to wait. As you're planning, as the head coach is planning in those meetings. But then every once in a while there's something you just got to go attend to, whether you want to or not. Then you got your offensive staff or your defensive staff kind of waiting for you and trying to stay productive while you're putting out a fire or whatever may come up. So it's not ideal, but it's not all bad either, in that the head coach is right in the heart of everything.
Did you give it up? I mean, I know Mike was probably ready, but also to be able to kind of be more looking at everything.
Well, yeah, you want to it was a combination of both. It was a combination of Mike truly being ready to handle the responsibility, and me having a lot of faith in Mike, but also feeling like I needed to maybe see the bigger picture in some areas, and also it can grind you to the nub sometimes too. So a little bit of both.
Mark, Grayson obviously had a noteworthy performance this past Saturday, but going forward, especially with the competition, perhaps being a little stiff for the next couple weeks, if there's an area of improvement or at least some advice you would give him, what?
Well, I would just continue to do what he's been doing, and I saw some of his comments after he was interviewed yesterday, and I thought he answered well. I thought he was right on when it came to the responsibility that he has as quarterback to help the team get in the end zone and not really worry about how we get it done. Let's just get it done, and that's the quarterback's job, is to help the guys around you be successful, regardless of how you go about it.
Jake Gaines got the start the other day. I mean, this is what y'all planned for him, not necessarily starting whatever, but when y'all offered him a scholarship, it wasn't out of charity.
Oh no, we knew we needed some help there in that position as far as some depth. Even Chukwuemeka, when we signed him, we were thinking he might help us at inside linebacker. We thought we needed some maturity at that position, and but you know, when you watch the tape, the guy was a leading tackler, I think, at least one of the years, the last year that he played, and played on special teams. And then when you meet him, you realize he's just a real sharp guy. You figured he would pick things up quickly, and if nothing else, be a great addition to our defense, but do some things on special teams for us.
Coach, the offensive line had a couple of points Saturday where made a couple key mistakes. Overall, what was your impression with them?
It was pretty good overall. We had a couple. I think we jumped off sides a couple times. We had the high hard snap that really was catchable. I think it was more of the transition of Kublano style and Hunter Long style of snapping. It's probably what got us on that. Protected pretty well, really. There was one sack where we had a missed assignment when Bryce got sacked. We should have blocked it just a little bit differently there. But overall, I thought they created some really good space for our backs most of the time. You know, the first series we weren't very sharp with our assignments. But after that, I thought we put our hat on the right people and ran our feet good and picked up blitzes. And that was, you know, running backs too. They got to be in position to pick up some blitzes along with the line. I thought overall they did a good job.
One game, one sack for Jordan Jenkins. It seems like that he's kind of old man River, like Leonard and Lorenzo Gulata. He's kind of just always there. How would you describe what Jordan brings?
Well, Jordan's a very solid football player. He lines up properly. You kind of know what you're going to get. He's going to play hard. He's going to play with good assignment and discipline. And the thing about sacks is sacks normally half of them are out of effort, and sometimes it's out of being disciplined. Sometimes a sack comes to you. Guy gets flushed a certain direction, and there you are where you're supposed to be. I mean, there's times you just beat a guy off the edge and go get him, but a lot of times just being relentless in your rush and also being disciplined. So, you know, we've been able to count on him for those things. He's playing first and second down very well, much better than he did as a young player, and he's provided good leadership as well. He got voted captain again for the second time, so that's a good sign. That was by the coaching staff.
Starting seniors, both Malcolm and Keith are making their first trip up to Vanderbilt this year. What kind of emotion do you think it is for them after the journey they've kind of gone through?
I didn't know that. You're saying who? Malcolm, Mitchell, and who?
Keith Marshall.
It's their first trip to Vanderbilt.
That's what they said.
Okay, well, I believe them.
They both missed in third.
Yeah, just never think about it. I mean, I just don't ever think about that. I wouldn't have guessed that, but I think they ought to, you know, if you go through Georgia as long as they've been here and didn't get a chance to hit every venue in the East. It'd be a shame. So I'm glad they'll be able to do that.
Is Christian Payne gonna be able to play this weekend?
Looks like it. He's practicing, and we're gonna. As of right now, we're bringing him.
So what makes him such an effective fullback? I mean,
Yeah.
to be ahead of a guy like Quavon who's been here a long time.
Right.
What's he doing?
Well, he's tough. He knows what he's doing. He's a strong kid. Very strong lower and upper body strength, and he's not afraid to strike. Good fundamentals. You got to want to. It's a high contact position, and you got to be willing to do it down after down, and he's been doing that and doing it well.
What kind of role you think Reggie Carter might have this weekend?
You know, I don't know yet. If we bring him, which I think we're planning on bringing him at this point, I'm sure he'll get in there. How much, I don't know. Go ahead.
Kimbrough with the club.
Yeah,
Is
he'll be fine. Yeah, he's coming. He'll
The
play.
travel limitations for SEC road games are difficult to come up with, or has been.
Not super difficult. It always gets difficult at the very end, but I've mentioned it a few times even during camp. As early as maybe 5 days in, we would say, if we were going to Vanderbilt, or if we got to get to 70, what's it look like? So we've been kind of looking at that for about a month. So it's not that shocking, but in the end, you get down to this guy or that guy. Should you bring him or him? It gets a little tough, but overall, it was pretty quick meeting.
With Vanderbilt coming out in their alternate jerseys, why do you think Georgia's gone away from that trend in college football and just wearing the red and whites?
Well, we like our traditional look for sure, but other teams do it, which is fine, and I'm sure we'll do it again before it's all over someday.
Good time for one more?
Rico
Okay,
McGraw,
yeah,
I don't think Rico
sure.
McGraw's going back to play his hometown
Yeah.
for the first time. When you got a kid, a freshman, especially that
Yeah.
does that, you have a little conversation with the.
I probably should, but they do get excited to go home. I'm sure it's part of the recruiting process. They probably look at that game and go, "This will be important to my family and my friends," and so hopefully he'll have a good performance.